masakit itanong. Pero sa iyong pananaw, likas bang corrupt ang Pinoy? Alan, maraming salamat muli sa pagkakataong ito.
To God's grace, Kuya Boy, I'm always grateful for the opportunity. And usually, pagka-confusing times, it also helps me sa personal clarity ko yung kung anong kailangan gawin, anong dapat gawin, kailan dapat magsalita, kailan dapat makinig. And definitely, it's become a very confusing world.
Correct. At ngayong gabi sa ating pag-uusap ay may naisip kaming mga ilang words, ika nga, na napaka mahalagang pag-usapan dahil sa kaganapan sa ating bayan, sa mundo, at sa ating mga kababayan. At doon nga, umpisahan natin doon sa word na yon, confusion. Napaka-confusing ng mga pangyayari ngayon. Ano ang nais mong sabihin pag naririnig mo ang salitang confusion?
Well, Kuya Boy, I don't think there's any human being that has ever experienced not being confused. When there's national issues, especially when it's tragedies or catastrophes or mga calamities na sobrang sakit, and on one sense, you're taught to a righteous anger. On the other sense, you're taught not to hate, di ba? But to love. Yung confusion is there, di ba? So I take solace from the point na God created us with a purpose, for a purpose, but meron talagang lying spirit, di ba? So kumbaga, while we're talking here and saying no matter how bad the times get, di ba? May answer yan, may solution yan. We should use the confusion to bring people together.
That's the other side of confusion. May nagsasabi naman na kinakailangan ng imbalance, kailangan ng confusion for us to move towards a certain balance, to move towards clarity. Pero ang nais ko sanang tumbukin, Alan, ay sa mga panahon ngayon na may giyera sa Iran, nag-aaway ang Santo Papa at saka si Trump, impeachment sa Kongreso natin, ang pinag-uusapan laban sa ating Vice President, 2028 elections, ang pinagdaanan at hindi at ang patuloy na pinag-uusapan at iniimbestigahan na korupsyon sa flood control. Bilang taong bayan, yun nga, yung sense of confusion, yung ano ba ang aking paniniwalaan, paano ba ako kikilos, paano ko ba haharapin ang buhay ko sa lahat ng ito.
Yung macroeconomics is about the economics of the whole country and about the whole world and how everything is interacting with each other. But yung microeconomics is ikaw lang yon, or yung certain goods that you know, yung dealing with it, di ba? Sa micro level, hindi parating problema yung confusion kasi somehow by yourself, with your community, with people you love, nakakahanap ka ng clarity or ng daan, di ba? But when you go to a bigger group, di ba, as a city, as a sports community, as a business, as an industry, and then especially as a country, yung confusion kasi nga, sa microeconomics kasi parang may say ka eh. Ngayon parang, yeah, we have leaders, we trust some, we don't trust many, we have government, we can rely on them sometimes, but not always. That sense of helplessness, and that sense of yung masyadong tentative, yung parang, today magbibigay ng ayuda, bukas hindi. Today, tatas ang pamasahe. Ngayon, hindi.
7 C's ang ating pag-uusapan.
Okay. I had the privilege of speaking before the bar passers ng PU Pilo, Polytechnic University of the Philippines. Grabe ang mga storya nila, Kuya Boy. Parang yung mga scholar mo, yung talagang working class, tapos talagang hindi nila alam kung paano makakatapos, and then yung stories of faith, the prayers, etc. So, not knowing their stories pa going there, but knowing that this is a group who are born out of struggle and determination to finish their law school. Everyone in law school is so idealistic. Justice, social justice, pinupukpok ng mga professors mo yan sa utak mo eh. Sabi ko sa kanila to, sabi ko, sir, do you realize na every generation may grabbing crisis? Pero kayo, within the last 7 to 10 years, tignan mo crisis number 1. Nung pumasok yung Duterte administration, so if you believe Duterte, crisis on drugs. Di ba yung drug problem? Now, if you're anti-Duterte, you say there's a crisis sa human rights or somewhere in between, okay? And then nag-pandemic, di ba? And first pandemic sa generation natin to, yung lockdown, uncertainty, hindi mo alam kailan dadating yung vaccine. And then, 2022, marami sa martial law babies, di ba? Ang sigaw na, never again. And then, nandiyan na naman. I told the PUP bar top-notchers, imagine you are the front row witnesses of the largest corruption scandal that has rocked our country. And then, naramdaman natin ng konting epekto sa Ukraine-Russia conflict. Pero nung dumating tong Iran, Israel, US, di ba parang many nayanig na. Tapos, generation natin, gusto mo ng mura, diesel ka. Then suddenly, yun pinakamahal. But I mentioned one more, na if you thought radio, TV, internet, smartphones were disruptive, AI will really change a lot. And etong generation na to ang sasalo talaga nito eh. So can you imagine, Kuya Boy, no? If dati in a 30, 40-year generation, anong crisis nyo? Martial law, EDSA 1, corruption crisis, oil shock of the 80s, Asian financial crisis, di ba, the late 90s or 2008. But eto, in less than 10 years, isipin mo yung confusion, pressure, yung expectation, yung molding nung grupo na to. But, I left them with something I was comforted with, and I hope I comforted them. Na in my studies of a biblical truth, the more struggles na pinagdaanan nyo, the more trial, the more crisis, it's better training for future leaders. The best leaders of the Bible are people who went to the worst crisis.
In a state of confusion, karapatan ba ng taong bayan mag-demand ng clarity mula sa mga leaders ng bansa?
I remember my last day as Secretary of Foreign Affairs. Nasa Bali kami and I broke the news to, naging close kami nung 10 foreign ministers. And at the same time na nagpapaalam ako, Singapore just won 3 top awards sa human development. And when we were congratulating the foreign minister, Minister Vivian Balakrishna, he was saying, it's an honor, it's a privilege, we worked hard for that, but Singaporeans will always demand more. And it is what it is. So he wasn't saying it's negative or positive. He said they brought up their democracy to be intelligent, to be communicated, to be clear. They taught their people to be activists, but that's the problem now. No matter what award, the question is what's next. So to answer your question, if many of us says, sana Singapore, I think whether or not there's a crisis, whether or not there's confusion, people should always demand. That's the nature of leadership and democratic leadership. I've been studying din yung crisis, yung crisis situations. And sabi nga nila, di ba, yung Chinese character for crisis is also the character for opportunity.
Okay.
So I was listening to this pastor, Dr. Miles Monroe, at sabi nga niya, leaders always see opportunity. And as someone who's dealt with problem after problem, ang hirap talaga pagka bagong gising ka, whether it's 5 in the morning or whether you wake up late, and then panay problema. And dati phone call lang yon or memo note. Ngayon, walang tigil yan sa phone, no? Ang hirap po, yung anxiousness, yung problema. But alam nyo, once na trinain ko yung mind ko na, sandali, take a deep breath, then short prayer, Lord, saan ang opportunity dito? So parating may opportunity yan. For example, napaka-divided ng ating
bansa,
society ngayon, ng tao, di ba? Lahat pinag-aawayan natin. Many things dapat pag-awayan, but not to a level na watak-watak at pinipinturahan na natin ng kulay ang bawat isa, no? So crisis should bring people together. That's one opportunity. Or number 2, we need major reforms. to name one, di ba? Nabulaga tayo sa flood control dun sa aspeto lalo na nung laki at saka yung ghost. Kasi no one believed that during this time pwede ka magkaroon ng ghost project. But hindi tayo stranger sa sa corruption, di ba? Anong problema? We didn't take advantage in past corruption issues to go to the root of the problem. Na magkaisa na hindi, maulit lang 'tong maulit. I was listening to this other preacher, Tim Keller, and he was saying nga na yung isang reflection niya, we hate the consequences of sin, but not the sin. So sometimes we hate how we feel about the consequences, but we don't hate what we did. So pagka ganun, hindi ka magbabago. Ang sakit ng consequence ng mali nating ginawa.
Ang problema ay,
So balik tayo ng balik dun sa...
who takes the lead in seizing that opportunity?
Well, Kuya Boy, sad to say, kaya nga tawag nila leaders. When you're leaders, you should lead. If you're following, you're not a leader. So while it's true that the opinion of the public matters, that's when there's no right or wrong. So you look at the public opinion. But when it's clear to you what is right, then you have to have the courage, but you also have to have the political skill.
Okay.